difference. That's all I'm trying to say.
I agree. Saquon made a huge difference.
Some people might criticize him for the Super Bowl game because what he played had like, I think they said he had like 59 yards rushing.
It wasn't a big performance by Saquon.
Yes, but he did a lot to get the team there.
I mean, like their entire game plan was focused on
to stop the run.
Yeah,
right.
They're like, we're not gonna let him beat us. Somebody else got to beat us.
Exactly.
And the other players showed up.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's crazy how people are criticizing him for not having a big game of what he normally had in the season. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's like, y'all don't understand football.
I always say, like, and this is the best of the best. Like, there is no better two teams. Like, they're gonna come out here and he's not gonna just dog walk these guys. Like, even with that awesome line, like they're gonna come out and they're gonna make an effort, like a real effort to try to stop us at what we're good at.
Yeah.
And it
was the run. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was the run.
Right. And that's the thing with the Eagles. Like, I remember even during the season, people were complaining that all the Eagles do is run the ball, and I was like, it's working. If they can stop the run, why not run the ball? That's the easiest thing you can do. Just hand it off. Just hand it off. It's the easiest thing you can do as a team or quarterback.
I don't get it either. You know what it is? It's the fact that the game is different, I think.
Yeah.
I think everybody's like, oh, everybody else throws the ball.
Right.
You know, all the rules are put in place to be able to throw it. Yeah. Fucking throw the ball. And then look at your receivers. I get it. But it's like, bro, the ultimate goal is to win. I think people forget that shit.
Facts,
and it's like, y'all like to hear yourselves talk.
It's chess, bro, not checkers. You know what I mean? It's chess, not checkers.
That's
like,
a fact.
Come on, like you got to think deeper past just, you know what I mean? What's there? Which, you know what I'm saying?
At that moment in time, I got something funny. I thought I pressed record, so
we haven't started.
Nah, we started. We're 2 minutes in now, but everything like the intro, we got to redo the intro and everything.
Oh, for real? Like the whole beat, it wasn't recorded?
No, nothing.
All right, let's go get the intro going.
Yeah. Hey, it's better late than never. Hey,
you can play open with that still.
Nah,
I don't know how you're gonna do it.
I'm just gonna. I mean, the camera was running. I got 2 minutes of it. I'll just start it off. It was where Saquon was, but I'm gonna lower it in the back. We're gonna talk through the intro because we started like 5 minutes ago. But yeah, man, this my man Abu.
What up?
Oh my God.
We're here again, episode 2.
Yeah, facts. I was thinking about making doing seasons of the show.
That's smart.
I was thinking about it, just to not bombard myself.
Like get a couple episodes together and be like, hey, season 1, season 2.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that.
Yeah,
but
a lot of other podcasts do it.
I do so many other things. It'd be hard to juggle a lot of it. This week I got 3 podcasts within the next 7 days. It's today, I got one on Thursday, and then I got another one on Monday. And it's just but I'm trying to, in the process of putting together this music event. I'm still in the process of getting my first book published. So I got a lot of different things. I was thinking, I love to do this and I want to be consistent at it, but there's a lot on the plate. Just trying to juggle it all kind of thing.
But bro, so you, man, you decide, right? You decide kind of what you want to be working on for that day or week or whatever, bro.
Nah, that makes it.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta put some stuff to the side, get one thing done, and and then you get back on the horse of juggling everything else. All right, bring it back.
Fucking circus set. Throw another ball in.
But when you know what I mean? But sometimes you gotta be like, all right, let me get off the horse, let me do this. You know what I mean? Take care of that.
I try to do that as best as I can. I realize I'm doing more of this than that. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a break from this today and solely focus on that. But I feel like it'll be something that makes the load a little bit easier to weather. But okay, so back to the Super Bowl. Elizabeth, I can't deal with that right now, baby. I love you, but go ask your mother. No. Go ask your mother. Cause
I like the coat.
I don't know why she walk around in her coat either.
The joint's fire, bro.
Yeah. So I ended up drinking. I watched the whole game yesterday. I had 2 beers during the whole game. When it got to 6 minutes, and I realized there was no coming back. It was over. I don't know what the fuck happened.
You mean in the first quarter?
No, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
The last 6 minutes of the game where it was just too far out of reach. It didn't matter what they did.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I was like, shit. Everybody's like, hey, let's take a shot. I was like, all right, whatever. I take a shot. And then right before I took the shot,
drink? You don't normally drink?
Nah, I don't really drink like that. The shit hurts.
Yeah,
it hurts. The recovery sucks. It's like I'm cool on that, man. So
well, you did one for the team?
Yeah. There was a whole bunch of us. My cousin came down from Jersey. It was a real good time. So I was like, you know, fuck it, we'll all have a shot. The Eagles winning the Super Bowl tonight. Like, it's a good time.
That's big, bro.
It's a good time. So I have a shot. But before that, I had a beer that was like 10% alcohol. And then, you know, football minutes is 6 minutes on the clock, but it's really like 40 minutes left in the game kind of shit.
Timeouts, TV,
all that stuff. So I had 2 more beers after that. Like, I don't know who the fuck I was. Like, in that last like 6-7 minutes of the game, bro, I woke up with the only headache. Like, it felt like I had never had a bottle of water in my life. So we get in the car, we go off to work, and my wife's coming up the hill, and we left the house a little bit late. Because I had to get dressed in the dark. I showered in the dark. Like, bro, the lights was crazy. So we start driving, my wife moving off fast, and I just feel all the liquid in my stomach. Just spit all over the place. She gets to the stop sign, she stops kind of hard, and all the liquid just. I was like, baby, I think I'm gonna throw up. You have to pull over. Nigga, she rolled the window down. So I'm like, I just started bro. We're driving down the street, bro. I'm just throwing for like a whole 4 blocks out the window, hanging out the window, just throwing up all over the east side of Allentown.
That's crazy.
I was like, yo, whoever's behind me is like, I know they're probably thinking like he's an Eagles fan, like. Bro,
that's goddamn Eagles fans, man.
Bro.
Eagles fans out here, man.
Oh God, bro, it was nasty. We get to the daycare, right?
That is the ultimate Eagles fan story, right there.
I wish somebody could have recorded it because it's like, bro, I'm sitting.
Bro, imagine how Philly was. Like that was just you out here. Imagine Philly. All the Eagles fans out there,
bro. They was acting.
They look lit though. I saw some of the Instagram posts.
They was acting up.
That joint look lit. Aren't they having a parade?
They set a fire yesterday. I think they lit a car on fire or some shit. They lit a car on fire? Bro, they be wilding. whenever, bro, whether we win or we lose, we gonna fuck some shit up.
The city's gonna get burnt somehow.
Elizabeth, stop.
But I'm happy you guys win. I think it's a little safer when you guys win. It's more of an excitement.
Yeah.
The excitement cheering is better than the anger. Mm-hmm. The anger.
Fuck
you know what I mean? Yeah.
And people love to take their shots at us as far as like when we lose, because we don't win nicely either. Like, no, you don't. Like we be in people's faces.
I've been to one Eagles game. I've been to one Eagles game. It was the Eagles versus the Giants game. Mm-hmm. I think, if I can remember correctly, I could be wrong, but you guys beat the Giants, right?
We always beat the Giants. Fuck
and
the Giants.
We were walking out of the stadium, right? The Eagles fan were so happy and excited. They ended up fighting one of the Giants fans.
It'd be like that, bro.
Just like y'all won, but y'all still out here still wanting the, you know what I mean, brawl. It's like
shit. It's
not enough.
We know somebody. I'm not gonna say his name on here, but we know somebody that after an Eagles game where they won, the nigga he lost, like he crashed out after the game. He headbutted a horse, like. I mean, it's a couple years ago. Yeah, I'll tell you off camera, but yo, you're gonna laugh when you find out who it is.
A horse, bro. You gonna attack a horse? But every time
it was a cop horse. It was like
them drones are huge.
I know, nigga.
That's crazy.
Only in Philly though, bro.
That's wild. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine somebody doing something like that.
Bro, we're different. But yeah, the parade is on Friday. I'm really hoping that. I have every intention of going, but the way my life is lining up right now, it's not. It's looking kind of bleak. But
you got too much stuff going on.
Yeah, a couple of the schools don't have school. It's just like a lot of things. Like we have an employee out. Is it because of the parade or nah?
What's going on?
At least I don't think so. Like some of the schools got like parent-teacher conferences and shit like that. So
I've been out of school, man. I don't know what's going on. I got no kids in school.
It feels crazy, right? We're.
I don't know what's going on with the school.
Yo. I was just thinking about that the other day because we didn't have a 10-year anniversary for getting out of high school, for graduating.
Has it been 10 years, bro?
It's been like 13.
Damn, and nobody has hosted nothing for us? Like,
nah. Nobody did 10 years.
Whose job is that? Is that the school's job?
Nah, I think it's somebody from the alumni.
It's like a senior, right? Like,
honestly, I would imagine that it's somebody that like did the organizing while they were in high school. Like Like somebody who's part of like one
Maybe
of them clubs.
Yeah, one of the senior president.
Yeah,
people,
like a Maggie Sewers or some shit.
Yeah, where you at, Maggie?
Yeah,
come on.
Like come on, get on the fucking ball. She's called Mash.
We trying to have a party, Maggie. Huh?
Now, honestly, so we missed the 10 because we're going into year 13 of being out of high school.
Do you think people are just shy of like maybe coming together?
I just think that everybody was waiting for it to happen. Because I remember like when it got year 11, I seen like this whole discussion from a bunch of people that we graduated with. Like, why didn't we have a 10 year?
Is it on Facebook?
It was on Facebook. This was a couple years ago now.
We might have to bring that up for the 15 maybe.
Or... I was thinking 15 because we're only 2 years away from 15. If we didn't have
the 10, we're gonna have the 15, bro.
I was gonna say 20. Let's get to 15. I'll organize 20, but I'm a little scared to get to 20 because motherfuckers might start dropping off again. Like, you know, the people that didn't really take care of themselves the first.
That's what I'm saying, right? So I think 15, people are shy. Like 10, people are shy to even bring up 10. Imagine 15 or
20.
Imagine 20. I mean,
further out. Yeah.
Niggas 20, people everybody will be a dad by then.
Niggas gonna be bald.
You got the dad bod going on.
Nah, that's a fact.
No hair.
The other
missing
thing is,
tooth.
I think part of for real, niggas is definitely gonna be missing teeth, bro. Yo, that's sad. We gotta do 15, Abu.
We gotta do 15, bro. Hairline's going back.
Receded. That nigga is stressed. Nigga, I got white eyelashes,
gray hair, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yo, let's not wait any longer, bro. Let's get the 15 going.
Will you help me plan it? I'll do it if like I get some help.
You.
Yeah,
whatever you need.
I'll set up like a whole commission of people.
Yeah, like everybody that was, you know what I mean? Everybody who basically graduated.
At least like a couple people from like that knows different little groups.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We need somebody that can reach the other groups. Cause I didn't talk to everybody. I knew everybody, but I didn't talk to everybody.
We're definitely gotta get maybe like either Zach Dacus or Taylor Hendricks, one of them, so they can reach out to their group.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? and listen, we over here,
we was all cool,
we can coordinate.
But high school was definitely segregated.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not sure if it was like out of comfort or it was just the way it shook out. But even if we were all cordial and cool with each other, like the groups looked like how like normal groups look. Like it was black kids with black kids for the most part. It was white kids with white kids for the most. I wonder why that is. You think it's like a comfort thing?
I think that's just how it is, bro. That's just, you know what I mean? People just feel comfortable with each other. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I don't think it was a racial.
No, I don't think. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think just how people tend to feel more comfortable with like people they look like. I think
that they see themselves in. Yeah.
And who they can relate to a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to change this conversation a little bit. So speaking of like being comfortable with people that you see yourself in them, do you have like a diverse bunch of kids that you coach within jiu-jitsu?
Yes, I do. My kids are diverse.
You have a very diverse.
Yeah.
So like when these parents, like, are you taking them like fresh off the street kind of thing? Like these kids have no experience.
Yeah, zero experience.
Zero experience.
Yeah, most of them come with zero experience.
Okay.
I've only have one kid who told me he had done it in the past, but I guess had stopped. But yeah, he's still with us. But yeah, I've only had one kid who have came in with some prior experience. But yeah, it's usually zero experience.
Now I know, like myself, we both play football, and that's where my coaching went. I realized I was like, I like doing this. Like, I like giving what I got to offer to these kids, and hopefully they can do something with it. Is that the same reason you got into coaching jiu-jitsu?
I think the reason I got into coaching jiu-jitsu was multiple reasons, but I would say the main reason probably is me coming into jiu-jitsu. Like as I was training and coming up, I was always interested in that coaching aspect, like, and for a student, like from a student perspective, I always wondered, hey, like, what is the best way for me to get good, like, really good in a short period of time? Like, what is the best way for me to train? What is the best way for me to practice?
So niggas trying to streamline the whole process.
Yeah, what can I be doing? Even when I'm not practicing, like basically off,
like when you're not off the mat,
like off the mat, like what can I be doing off the mat to get better? You know, like what is it? Like what? Like how are these guys so good? Like, you know what I mean? Like that. I was thinking of like that, to be honest. Like, And then I
nice.
would visit different schools too. Even when I was coming up, I started with a guy named Mike Padilla.
Okay.
He's a hell of an athlete, hell of a coach. He's out here in MS Avenue actually.
Okay.
More on the, I think that's the
Is it the one by
Valentine?
Yeah, by Turkey
Yeah,
Hill?
it's like the south side of Valentine. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's out there, great coach, great school, and all that. And but even when I was with Mike, like I used to visit different schools, and mainly because
where's
I
the
was
loyalty? Now just fucking with
no,
you.
no, it's actually encouraged to visit other schools.
Is that
in
like
jiu-jitsu.
so you could find like maybe if you like a space a little bit better than another, or is it like there's different things to
before
pull?
you join a school, you should you should visit different schools so you can find maybe somewhere you more are gonna fit in at or comfortable with being around, or showing up to every day. But for me, it was more of just seeing how different people coach.
Okay.
I was, like I said, I was really interested in the coaching aspect, and me, like the best coach that I've seen or visited around was a school in Bethlehem. Was 10 Planet Bethlehem, run under a guy named Zach Manzlani.
Why did that one like separate from the rest of the?
It was really
spots?
just the way this guy taught, like just the way he taught his classes. Like it was just, I felt like every time I left his class, I was like, I learned like so much, like so much useful things that like it improved my game like crazy.
Was it like was it his style? Was it the delivery? Was it the fact that he rolled around with y'all when he demonstrate? Like
not at all. Like I mean, like he was open. He rolls with his students, but it wasn't even that. It was just more of like, bro. It was just like how he structured his class, like how he structured it.
Structure's important.
Yeah, the way he goes about, say, like delivering, say techniques to you.
Yeah.
Like he's like, to be honest, I felt like he spoon fed it. It wasn't like, oh, we're doing this today. Like he's rotating 360, diving on a leg, and
you want me to do that?
But no, if you honestly, if you go to some schools, that's what it is. Like the instructor will show you like some phenomenal move. You're like, oh my god, wow. But most of the kids can't even hit it. Like most of the students in the school can't even do the move.
Right.
So it's like
it's falling on deaf ears. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Zach, like seriously, it was like bit by bit. Like he'll show you like he was like, even if it's a whole move, this is to like keep it very simple, by the way. And like, so maybe you can, not just you, but like the viewer too can understand kind of what we're talking about. Once again, we're talking about jiu-jitsu. We're talking about jiu-jitsu. That's more like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, specifically, I should say. Similar.
So that's what
grappling.
You train.
Yeah, it's like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but we tend to just call it jiu-jitsu. Some people are calling it American jiu-jitsu now as well.
BJJ.
Because like I do no gi because we don't really train with the gi, like the traditional outfit or attire. It's more of like just like an athletic gear, like
I was gonna say I see you in like
it's
t-shirts
more like
sometimes. And
I wouldn't call it a t-shirt,
tight.
but like they call it like a rash guard, like like some kind of tight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like
So yeah,
compression fit.
it's different than the traditional gi and things like that. Just so people can get a context of what we're talking about.
So when you went into this dojo and then wait, is that where you still train at now?
So that's where I ended up transferring to.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay. And what, like, did you mirror a lot of how you deliver the message and structure your classes for the kids, like to make it so that way it's digestible? You can spoon feed it. Like, did you take a lot of what you learned from him and take it into your own thing, or?
So I also like, I mean, I've been teaching for over 3 years now.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
All right.
So in the beginning it was rough because I also fell into the syndrome of showing impressive moves and getting
I'm gonna kill him with this one today.
And kind of like, and hoping the kids get it. You know what I mean? Like trying to impress my students, oh, we're doing this, and it's like,
you could trust
really
me.
dope.
I know what I'm doing.
You know what I mean? Right, kind of thing, But like being in it, it's not necessary. Like I've dropped all of that, and now I'm kind of finding my way back, remembering kind of what I enjoyed or how I used to learn, how I used to enjoy learning.
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, and kind of I'm taking that path now. And to answer your question, I'm kind of using his template, if you would say. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. and I like that too, because I've realized that in myself when I go out and I coach kids, and like, let's just say we're doing DB drills, like I can use my hips a lot better than a lot of these kids can. And I used to like get frustrated sometimes. I'll be honest, be like, dude, like all you're doing is coming downhill. You're planting, like it shouldn't take you 5 steps to get out of your back pedal. And then I gotta remember, like, these kids are 7. Like, I mean, they're a lot better than I was when I was 7, but like I gotta remember like who I'm talking to. And I realized like sticking to the fundamentals of, like, at least for football, coaching football has been the most like influential thing I can do as a coach.
Sure.
Like they'll get the other stuff, they'll get the flash and how to start toe tapping and things of that nature down the line. But like if I can hammer home the super basics, like it always comes back to that.
The fundamentals, for sure. Yeah.
Is that how like you kind of do it for the kids now?
Yeah, when I teach, honestly, like I do focus heavily on the fundamentals. Like
what the hell are the fundamentals of like Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
I don't even want to call it Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Let's just say jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
But so grappling, whatever, right? Because we do a lot in terms. Well, like for me, the way I coach, we wrestle. Mm. Remember, you were criticizing.
I love wrestling.
You were criticizing people sitting down in the UFC fight you were watching.
Yeah.
So we wrestle a lot to kind of not having to do that. Like, you know what I mean? So if you wrestle and you can physically bring the person down to the ground, that's not necessary, right?
It's not necessary?
It's not necessary to sit.
Okay.
If you can forcefully bring the fight to the ground.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I focus a lot on wrestling, you know.
Should have wrestled in high school.
I never wrestled in high school, but all the wrestling I do, I learned in jiu-jitsu. But that's like the beauty of this art. Like it really pulls from like different art forms. Mm-hmm. The recent beautiful thing I recently saw about jiu-jitsu, it was from a guy named Roger Gracie. He said jiu-jitsu is like the backbone of all the martial arts.
Why is that? Because it incorporates so many different styles.
It incorporates, but it also means that jiu-jitsu completes. Another way of saying it, jiu-jitsu completes martial art.
Okay.
In the sense that
that's because y'all be breaking shit.
Let's just take boxing out of it for a second. If we look at just pure wrestling, mm-hmm. right? Pure wrestling, and especially in the sport of it, it's like the match is over with a pin, mm-hmm. right? But in the street, where you're gonna say, "Oh, I pinned you, so I won"? No, this guy is gonna want to keep punching you in your face. It's not.
That's
the fight is definitely not over. You know what I mean? You might be on top.
He's gonna say some wild shit next. Guy. He's like, this is where you break his arm now.
Well, but that's where jiu-jitsu comes in place, where jiu-jitsu actually can finish a fight. You know what I mean? Jiu-jitsu is not just pinning. It's actually, you can take the fight all the way to a submission where it's either you can choke somebody to sleep. Mm-hmm. You can literally break somebody's arm, mm-hmm. Even their leg, feet, tear somebody's ACL. Like all of those tools are incorporated in jiu-jitsu where it finishes a fight. It's an art that finishes fights. Okay? We can look at, and then even if we bring boxing into it, sometimes what he said about boxing was like, in boxing, especially the sport of boxing, we're not talking about the street here, the sport of boxing, a lot of time people start clinching you, mm-hmm. and the ref, starts
separating.
All right, guys, let's, in jiu-jitsu, there is really no break. Like it's even when you're on your feet, from the time you engage, the ref is not interfering of separating you guys. You know what I mean?
So how do you win? So how do you win? Like because I've seen you like wrestle in like tournaments and stuff. How mm-hmm. do you win those? Because they're not allowing y'all to break each other's bones, are they?
So that's where the tap, right? Like okay. you tap.
Okay.
You tap. You say either
if they don't stop, if you don't say stop and you don't tap, you could still like break some shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of videos online. I can probably send you some where people watch his knee. In the high level competitions, bro. Like people want to win, and sometimes there's money on the line. Mm-hmm. and people are not willing to tap. Even though a guy might have a phone blown armbar and your elbow is like flexed, extended, people are still not happen.
Oh my god!
So like, yeah, bro, it has happened. Even in the UFC, I've seen people, broke their arm because they don't want to tap.
They don't want to tap.
Right.
Nigga said you gonna have to break that, homie.
Exactly.
Nah, that's
but
crazy.
that's the thing of jiu-jitsu where it actually can finish a fight. You know what I mean? Like,
I like that. Do they teach you? Because you start on your feet.
Yeah.
Do they teach you striking and kicking as well, or is it more of just grappling and finishing? So
in the art of jiu-jitsu itself, or I should say the sport, right? The sport, more modern day jiu-jitsu, people don't practice striking.
No. But why not?
It's separated from our practice.
Okay.
But good coaches out there, like for me, I would encourage my students to go at least take some striking classes while they're doing jiu-jitsu. You don't have to heavily focus on striking, but definitely go take some striking where you're comfortable of defending punches to your face.
Yes. Because
in a street situation, they're going to try to punch you in your face.
Yeah. But most of the fights end up on the ground too. Yeah, like 90% of like street fights end up on the ground.
I mean, that is, people do say that, but
sometimes you get put to sleep.
Yeah, that doesn't always happen, right? It doesn't always happen. And I don't want to say it's true. I mean, I haven't looked at the statistics myself, but I don't want to just rely. I want to be able to defend my, punches. Like, as a martial artist, you should be able to defend punches. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Like, yeah, that's your, to be a complete martial artist it means something totally different. So now you're a what? A black, a purple belt.
Yes. So how do you prepare for something like that? Like, prepare as far as like do you do any training outside of jiu-jitsu to prepare you for, striking and things of that, like having to be on your feet?
Yeah. So like I said, for me, I definitely especially lately, in my classes, we practice wrestling every day. Like, meaning we start on our feet every day, practice takedowns, and things like that of that sort, throws even, and
sounds fun.
So
man.
We start on our feet every day. So it's a lot of practice there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but in terms of, are you saying like in a street situation?
I'm saying for you, like as the coach, not coaching. I'm saying you, in your own practice, yeah, okay. and you just trying to be a better fighter and martial artist. Like how do you get your practice into practice for striking?
Yes. Oh, okay. So I mean, I've been stopping in our school offers kickboxing as well. So I've been stopping in. They have specifically like striking fundamentals classes. That's like for beginners, whatever. You go there, they show you like the different punches, right, the proper way, and like So I go there and I get my striking defense, my basic striking. Mm-hmm. Honestly, that's all I really need.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that's... Don't get me wrong. People, that's not all you need. They can stab you with a knife.
Yeah. I mean, but at the end of the day, like you're not walking out into life looking for these issues. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? So...
But no, what I'm trying to say is that can take you a long way. You know what I mean? You being able to defend punches, right? Like you learning how to parry, block punches. I've learned other things than just what I've been learning lately at the school. Just coming up, learning basically street fighting. Like I went to school with some of the
slap
the toughest
box.
kids, bro. Yeah. Right, slap boxing. Like had a couple of street fights already. Saw many fights, bro. Like I went to school with kids named Vegans, bro. Like, you know how many Vegans fights I've seen in those back alleys, bro?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So it's what I mean, like but for sure, I definitely do go to striking classes to learn.
I want to check out your gym, bro.
Man,
it sounds like a one-stop shop.
It's a well-rounded school. Yeah. They like we have they have bro and they have qualified coaches. They have guys who have fought in the UFC who are coaching these striking classes and say MMA. They also have a class just for MMA. You know what I mean?
I want to learn how to kickbox.
That's the class I'm trying to get into.
The MMA one.
For me to get into MMA, they want me to develop my striking a little bit better.
I want to learn how to kickbox. I want to learn how to use my feet. I know how to use my hands, but I also want to use my feet.
Yeah.
Because like I always tell my son,
it's a different coordination.
It is.
Yeah.
And total different muscle group too, and motor function. But I tell my son all the time, I'd be like, people will try you. It's just natural. Like there's a hierarchy, even in school and in sports, there's a hierarchy. And I'm like, I want you to feel confident if that day comes or when that day comes. And I'm like, there ain't no rules. If anybody says like you put your hands up and you kick him in his lower leg, and he's like, hey, that's not fair. Like I want you to understand, there's no rules in street fights. It's like I got to get out of this fight. That's the only thing I'm worried about is my safety.
Facts.
So it's like I've been in times where it's like I'm outmatched here, like hand wise. Like I don't have the skill set to stand here with this guy,
right. So
but I could always wrestle.
Options.
Yeah, but I could wrestle. So
did you wrestle in school?
Yeah,
you did, right?
Yeah, I did my 10th grade, my 10th, 11th, and 12th. No, 11th and 12th. I'm sorry. 11th and 12th year. But I wish I did it my entire life. I did it when I was a little kid, when I was like 7 and 8. And then I did it again in high school. And I wish I did it a lot longer because I actually really loved it. Yeah. But I hated the fact that we had to wrestle in a 103-degree room. Like,
it was hot. Yeah.
Bro, it's because you got to sweat. they want everybody to lose weight. And
that's why they say wrestlers are so tough because like they're always in like uncomfortable their environment is so uncomfortable.
Bro, it's terrible.
It's usually steamy in those rooms. Everybody's sweating. They want and everybody's going hard.
Yeah, they want everybody to drop their weight.
You're going toe to toe. Head to head. And
9 minutes, bro. 9 minutes, bro.
Wrestling is definitely one of the most energy draining things we do. Even in jiu-jitsu, like it's so energy draining.
It is,
but it's super rewarding when you can take somebody down and end up on top.
Mm-hmm.
Super rewarding
or how to get out of it.
It puts you in a super advantage, bro. It puts you in a super advantage.
Shit, I mean, it's been since I was 17. That was the last time I had a street fight. I don't want to fight, but I ended up he ended up scooping me, and somehow he scooped me, and I ended up putting him in a rear naked choke. Like
you got to his back, or
the way,
or like maybe a front headlock.
No, I ended up behind him.
Oh, you ended up
I don't even remember how I did it, but he ended up on top of me, and my back's on the floor, and he's sitting here tapping on my arm, and I was the one who got scooped. But just wrestling, knowing how to
you were able to like maneuver
how to land,
around him,
how to land, get to my belly and things of that nature.
That's what's up.
I think it's very useful as far as because there's a lot of different fighting styles out there. You got kickboxing, you got Brazilian jiu-jitsu, you got Muay Thai. Why'd you choose jiu-jitsu? Do you think it's like
it was something I just fell in love with? It's a funny story. So I actually went to I'm not going to name the school here, but I went to it was like it was really a karate school.
Okay.
But they claimed like they did everything, like they did like whatever, everything under the sun. But so I actually went in there to learn something called Krav Maga.
Krav Maga. Yeah. I know.
So I saw a couple of videos online of it, and like you know what I mean. And I also heard like in the military, a lot of military guys train in that. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. I wasn't going to the military, but I was like, this would probably be a good, filler or tester.
They fucking training soldiers to do it.
Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, let me check this out. So I went to the school. It's not really Krav Maga. They're more, it was like really a karate school, and, they weren't really, it was really like a family friendly environment, keeping everybody safe. And
sound like an introductory program, like a good introductory.
It was like a kid. It's good for kids, like a school. You take a youth, but they also have adult classes. But I wouldn't. Obviously I'm not there now, but yeah.
I asked because this is a hill you're willing to die on. Do you remember the hill that you picked that you're willing to die on?
What do you mean?
So in the questionnaire, it said pick a hill that you're willing to die on. Do you remember what you wrote?
I do not remember.
He said jiu-jitsu is the best thing you can get into.
Oh, okay. And that's a fact. Yeah,
that's why I asked, like, how does it compare?
Yeah, so let me lead into it. So I went to the school that was claiming, this and that, but I ended up meeting a guy there that he was there temporarily. He was there just to kind of stay in shape, but he was waiting for a school to open, and it was a jiu-jitsu school.
Okay.
So with him leaving and me staying in contact with him, he told me, hey, like, oh, this what happened. I was like, oh, where you at? You know what I mean? Like, I've been seeing him in class.
Put me on.
And he was like, oh, nah, I left because I was waiting for the school to open, which was a jiu-jitsu school. And I was like, oh, word. Like, he was like, yeah, come check it out.
Yeah.
So I went, I checked it out. And then, but I have seen like videos of jiu-jitsu though, like online. Like I was a little bit familiar with what it was.
Yeah.
And it looked, I mean, it was very interesting to me, like the ground grappling and things like that. So I went and checked it out and I just fell in love, bro. From there, from like day one, I was like, wow. And then the thing, I don't know, maybe let me just keep going here with kind of leading to like what made me choose it. Like,
yeah.
So
you got a lot of
the instructor, like that day one, I don't want he nicely kicked my ass. If I if I can put it like that, he nicely whooped my ass, and I was like, whoa, like, what is this?
Yeah,
like, bro, I literally couldn't do anything. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I felt like a child.
He was helpless.
Yeah, and I wasn't a child, but I felt like a child, just being controlled. Like, all right, like you was
like a ventriloquist.
Yeah, like just come here, sit right here. You know what I mean? And that's it. Like, I couldn't do anything, bro. Like, and he had me in holds. I was fighting for my life, bro. Like, trying to get out of stuff, and he wasn't even like really trying. Like, he was just showing me, like, all right, I can hold you here. I can choke you like from here and put you to sleep, but I'm not gonna choke you. He would like squeeze.
He's explaining.
He was squeeze. Yeah. Nah, he wasn't explaining nothing.
Oh, no.
This was all like showing. He wasn't telling. He was just showing.
Okay. So he's like, show me your ways. Now I always wondered that because there's so many different martial arts forms, and it's like, what's the best one to go? Because I'm a fan of MMA and UFC. Yeah, I know. I'm a fan of MMA, UFC, but you got all these guys with so many different skill sets. Some of these guys are wrestlers, but they also know kickboxing. Some know, but I realized jiu-jitsu is paired with a lot of those other forms. A guy might have a boxing background, but he learned jiu-jitsu, and that's why he's in mixed martial arts now. Like,
Yeah.
And so it seems like the one thing that the majority, like, at least in the UFC, it seems like the one thing that most people pair or know for sure, like amongst the fighters.
Yeah, like definitely like the Dagestani guys, like Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
And you had the whole Khabib, Nurmagomedov, and you had, I mean, there are a couple other people. So the whole UFC thing, right, from what I'm understanding and learning lately is that, UFC, let's say, have proven that wrestling is king of all the martial arts. Wrestling is king. Period. Like you
heard it here first.
There are more UFC champions who have wrestling as their base. You know what I mean? So with that, using that like metrics, like we can tell wrestling is the best base in terms of martial arts. But obviously, is if you maybe grew up wrestling and you get into the jiu-jitsu arts, like jiu-jitsu martial arts, and you start learning how to strangle people, how to do different submissions, strangles, arm bars, different kind of chokes.
That shit put you in a different league, bro.
Yeah, they call them like guillotine. What else? From the guillotine to the Darce chokes, stuff like that. Omoplata, but the omoplata is heavily used. You don't have to worry about what I'm talking about right now. But in the UFC, so it basically, if you have a good wrestling base and you pick up some submission holds, like whatever it is, some strangulations, breaking,
because we gotta finish it. We gotta finish the fight.
Yeah, that's how you finish fights, and so it will make you very dangerous, right? And obviously picking up some of the striking.
Yeah.
You're a complete fighter after that.
I was gonna say, if you had to pick two, and like if somebody's listening and you're like, all right, so what two what two forms should I pick to make me like an animal, like a lethal weapon kind of thing?
Okay. If you're a child or you have a child, get them in wrestling right now. Get them in wrestling, because that, like, grappling itself, it takes longer to develop. It's not it's definitely more complex than than boxing. People are probably gonna argue with me on this, but boxing is complex of its own.
It is,
but
that's more like a dance, though. Like I've always felt like boxing was like a dance. Like you guys have to, you got to counter when they strike, and you got to counter when you dodge it. And I don't know, like
boxing.
You know,
I'm not trying to say boxing is simple, right? But comparing it to like grappling, there's so much more positions and techniques and moves and variations. It's just too much.
I think having to carry the weight of the other person too is crazy.
That too, yeah, and you're bearing weight. But there is some schools, just to like highlight here. There's a Gracie school out there that, and like their whole curriculum have like over like 1,000 moves or something. Like you have to like learn like 1,000 moves. Imagine that, learning like 1,000 moves. But in jiu-jitsu, there's so much variations, bro, of moves. There's literally over thousands of moves that you can do. The variation is crazy. It's like almost endless.
That's dangerous. Endless. That sounds like that's what makes a motherfucker dangerous. Like you can get his ankle in 300 different ways.
Literally. But what people do though, right? Obviously, like you want to filter that. You want to filter and really focus on the most dominant moves. You know, the ones that are like high percentage, if you want to say. Things you want to focus on, things that are high percentage, thing that works on multiple body types, things like that. You know what I'm saying? You can filter it where you're not worrying about learning 1,000 moves. You're maybe gonna learn maybe 15 moves or 15 variations, but they kind of repeat or appear in different positions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So there are different ways, there are different approaches to this. You
sound very knowledgeable about this shit, bro.
I've been doing it for like over 8 years.
It's so funny.
About like, 8 years.
That's impressive,
that's
bro.
A long time.
I mean, shit. A purple belt is the stage right before black, right?
No, it's a purple and brown and then black. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you get through each stage? And then I don't want to stay here long because I do want to talk about
other things. That's
fine.
I
want to talk
whenever
about
you want to break it up, bro.
I do want to know how long before you get to a black belt. I am curious about that.
It's so like that's a whole debate of itself. But let's say on average is like 10 years.
10 years? Okay.
Yeah. Some people get it shorter than that. Some people get it like in 5 years.
And how do you earn it? Like just by putting the time in, or do you have to like defeat
the belt? It's different for everybody.
Okay.
Right. It's different for everybody.
All right. So what about yourself? Like in your dojo gym?
I'm a complex individual. Like meaning. No, seriously. Like sometimes sometimes I compete. You know, so I put myself sometimes in these tournaments where it's like. Is these guys who are full time? Yeah, jiu-jitsu art, like they practice jiu-jitsu like literally almost full time.
Iron sharpens iron,
and they're really like high level. And but if you're talking about like your everyday gym goers who don't compete at all, you can't say put them on the same
tier.
As me, or like not even that, or even like say okay. Abu is a purple belt, and like maybe this guy he's not as good as Abu, so I can't give him a purple belt. It doesn't work like that. If Joe is like just your everyday guy, he just wants to train jiu-jitsu, but he has a 9 to 5. He has no interest in competing. Yeah, he has a family. He wants to. You know what I mean? That's all he cares about.
Do you level up faster when you compete?
It can help you, but they also judge you different when you compete. Okay. Right? Like if you're somebody who wants to get into like say the high level competition. Of course, like your coach is gonna be harder on you. He's gonna judge you differently. Like you're gonna have to know a little bit more. You know, you're gonna have to be able to hold your own.
The stakes are higher.
Yeah, the stakes are higher. You're gonna have to be able to hold your own a little bit more on the practice mats. So he's not looking at you the way he's looking at this other guy who Joe, only cares about maybe for just like a healthy lifestyle of it. Just coming in to get a sweat. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's not you is different. Like he wants to see you be able to like you gotta be able to escape certain pins, you know, or maybe maybe you put in people in submissions yourself. Yeah. Or if somebody has you in your submission, are you able to how's your submission defense? they're judging you different just because of
yeah.
what you want to, what shoe you want to wear. You know what I mean? It's not the same for everybody.
That makes a lot of sense.
So it's different for everybody. You know what I mean?
All right. Listen, if you got young kids, this is the man to come and see. How can they get in contact with you if they do want to get their kids in with you?
You can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on Facebook, wherever, man.
You got to tell them like your tag.
You can tag me, bro.
He said, "Don't be lazy." Fuck you.
Nah,
I'm fucking with you. I'll tag him for sure.
So I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but I have just the Instagram just for like where I'm trying to focus on my jiu-jitsu stuff. Where it's like Abu Shaw.
You do a lot.
I think it's
things.
Abu underscore Shaw 10P. That's like 10 Planet, but. Yeah, you can tag me on. I mean, you can follow me on there. Any kind of like jiu-jitsu or sport questions. I post like workout stuff on there and like jiu-jitsu content. That's what I focus on there because I'm trying to
get with the man.
You can hit me up on Facebook. I recommend my school, or you know what I mean. Maybe if you just want a personal coaching, I'm also I can help you with that.
My man.
So yeah,
I want to talk a little bit about the future because we're in a stage in this country. You know, what I mean, Donald Trump's been in office about a month now. And I don't know. I don't necessarily know where the future is going, but I know that some of the policies that he's put in place has kind of, in my opinion, I think it set us back a little bit. Like he's really big into like oil drilling and fracking, and those are all like all ways, like in my opinion, old ways of creating oil and gas. Like we have new things that we can do, like fucking turning plastic into fuel, to diesel fuel and things like that. Like we have the technology to do that, but they rather drill holes in the planet. So, where do you, where do you see this whole thing going? Like as far as like energy, because energy is a big one. Like
that's interesting.
Like people don't like windmills. Like those are great sources of energy, but people do not like them at all.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm an electrical engineer by trade. That's my 9 to 5.
This nigga's good at everything, bro.
I try.
He beat your ass on Wednesday, and then he'll teach you how to fix your phone on Thursday. He's laughing. He's not denying.
But in terms of, I mean, energy, I'm somebody who's definitely for a long time been interested in solar power. Even when I went back home, I actually installed a solar well pump, a submersible well pump, but it was powered by a solar panel. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was cool doing that. But like I said, I know a lot about solar energy itself in terms of even if you want to hook up to your house, I can help you design it.
Do you think it's sustainable?
So we're not there yet. That's the thing. Meaning like it's kind of still expensive. If we're trying to keep it broad and like very simple, it's still expensive to say run your whole home off of solar. The initial installation, obviously, we're talking about here. It's kind of it's expensive, say for your average person.
Okay.
In terms of like everybody is different, obviously, but in terms of like how much power you would need every day for all your devices in your home to function, especially your heating and your cooling. That's what really draws a lot of energy in your home. And from there we can go to your range, your what you use to
machines,
cook.
Yeah.
Not your washing machine, your dryer. The washer don't pull that much energy.
But
it's your dryer. Does. Yeah, your dryer requires a lot.
Heat?
It has to, right.
Okay.
It has to generate heat. That's the energy killer right there. And then similar to HVAC, right? Especially if you need to heat your home, that draws a lot of power. So that's where your energy comes. I mean, those are your energy draining things in your home. So in terms of, especially in like say in the winter, right? Let's just say you have solar panels in your home.
Okay.
Okay, you might have like, especially when it just like snowed or we had that icing like yesterday.
Yeah,
like it was all ice, literally.
Yeah.
Obviously you can say, yeah, I can climb on my roof and clean off my solar panels, but you're not gonna do that. It's dangerous. It's not realistic. Most people let it melt, right? And the whole time you're sitting there letting it melt, you're not generating power. You know what I mean? So don't get me wrong, and you right. So the what we do to design around that is basically designed and have like storage batteries where you can store the energy in batteries, right? But the turnaround,
now you gotta store the batteries.
yeah, not even that. The turnaround, the batteries are the most expensive part of the system.
So that's why like there's always like a big like uproar about EV vehicles. Because in
terms of
like the battery, like I remember Tesla was having an issue and their cars were catching on fire for a little bit, and then to replace the battery for the car was the bulk of how much they paid for the car. You know, it was a big chunk of that amount.
In terms of the whole renewable energy sector, the battery is really what's kind of holding us back.
I read
it's the battery technology. Like we
read
have
it was cobalt, which was like one of the bigger issues. Like there's
cobalt is a material.
Yeah,
right? It's a mining material.
Yeah, and you mainly find it in Africa.
Yeah, but what I know, well, is lithium is people use right now for say rechargeable batteries is they use lithium batteries.
Okay,
that's like
energizer.
The lithium batteries are what's common.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably one of the most efficient right now.
Okay,
and also a little bit more cost effective, but as we speak every day, there are new technologies coming out in terms of just batteries, in terms of just charging batteries. You know what I'm saying? There's new technologies coming out every day.
Are you excited like for where things are going technologically, and especially like with energy, or are you kind of like where are you on that? Because this is something you deal with on a regular basis.
Can you rephrase the question?
All right, let me see how I can. Let me see what I wrote here. So we're just powering the future. Mm-hmm. We're powering the future.
So you really want to get into like energy specifically?
Like I want to see your thoughts on it, because we're also coming into an age of like AI. You know, and we don't know. Crazy. We don't know where for human brain power. We haven't really made that many advances since, you know, the 1960s. Pretty much everything we accomplished in that era, we've only just become a little bit better at it. But there hasn't been like, in my opinion, like we probably thought we'd have flying cars by now, and we still got cities that don't, like major cities with no rail systems, and everything we have is fucking old. Everything we have, like damn near the entire infrastructure is fucking old here in America. And I understand that there's a money thing, but we're talking about powering the future and becoming more technologically
advanced. Yeah.
How do you feel about the direction that we're going in? And could you provide ideas or insight to any of it?
So I mean, if we just attack the whole AI thing first, maybe just go spoonful this bit by bit.
It is a lot, because it's a lot. Right, it's a lot of issues.
Yeah. Energy. I mean, maybe we can close with energy. We still have a long way to go to just rely on renewable energy, even if it's just solar, even if it's just wind turbines and things like that. Even if it's, you know.
I do have one question, because you're still going down. Yeah, energy. So, you're familiar with Nikola Tesla?
Nikola Tesla, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Nikola.
Do you remember his
Nicholas, really?
Yeah, I always say Nikola. It is.
I think it's Nicholas, right?
No, I always isn't.
I mean, I could be wrong. I never really heard.
We talking about Tesla, not the car.
Right. The person Tesla, Nikola Tesla.
I always call him Nikola Tesla.
It could be, because I think he was French. He came from, right?
I thought he was German.
No, I don't think he was German.
I don't know. We got to fact check all this. You guys can feel free to bash us in the
I'm fact checking right. I read a little bio about him, short, like not a deep dive research. Nikola Tesla.
But in the early 2000s, I mean in the early 1900s, he built this device where he took the Earth's current. He basically took wires. Now, this is like the simplest I can make it for the average person, but he took wires, he put them into the fucking ground, and he closed the circuit by putting a couple of these these power stands, and he made a closed circuit, and he powered this large ass antenna with solely the current of the planet, because there's electrical current running underneath us, like in the earth. And he used that to power his antenna, and that was it. Now, at the time, it was kind of primitive for the fact that he had to run like all these cables. I mean, but we're still kind of in the same lane as far as us having to run cables to get shit done electronically. Like you think about underwater cables to provide internet. Like, so I know it's layered.
So I mean, just for the viewer as well to know, like our current infrastructure still incorporate a lot of Tesla's ideas. There was a whole battle there with what is it, the DC direct current and alternating AC, current.
Yeah.
Who is it? Who was the guy he was battling?
Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison, yeah, with Edison and Tesla, right?
Yeah.
That was like the whole
and Tesla
battle
won.
There. Well, not at the time. Edison. No. I mean,
but he was the one who brought in alternating current.
Yeah, he brought in alternating current,
and that's what we run off, right? Mainly.
Well, right. So for transmission, right, it's definitely more effective, right?
It's a nerdy ass conversation.
It's more effective to say deliver power or energy long distance using alternating current. Mm-hmm. So we still incorporate Tesla's idea. But Edison's with the direct current, like everything in your home is direct current.
Okay.
Right. In terms of like your TV, just
that's where your circuit breaker box comes in, correct?
What circuit breaker box?
You mean your panel? Your panel.
Well, your panel is really still feeding alternating current. Your breaker's there. In terms of like the energy that leaves your receptacle and that goes into your device, there's usually a transformer within your electronics that transform the energy from alternating to DC to direct current.
All right.
It's usually built in, like even your laptop.
Yeah.
Right? Your laptop, even though it's not plugged in, is running off of DC power. It's running off of a battery, which is direct current.
Okay.
But so let's say even when you say you have it in the receptacle is bringing in alternating current into your charger, but you normally see like a big box like that, whatever.
Yeah.
That device is literally
what's changing it,
converting it.
Okay.
Right. It's converting it to direct current.
To DC.
Yeah, it's a DC.
Ah, that's interesting.
So all those little those are like, they call it transformers, if you want to call it that, you know. But yeah,
I learned something new today. Yeah. We learned something new today. So
the whole we're using
Tesla, we're using them
Tesla
both.
really didn't win that battle, bro. Like Edison convinced the world that his system, which was DC current, was superior at the time. And the way he did it was he kind of like, I think from what I read, he used alternating current to like kill an elephant or something.